Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Amra Pinkham, Director of Operations here at New Silver. I help kind of keep all of the moving parts of our lending process running smoothly here. I am joined today by the one and only Joe DeSalvo, one of our Rockstar loan advisors. Joe, I'm just going to give you the floor to have you introduce yourself to everyone.
Great. Thanks so much, Amra. Excited to be here with you all today. And as Amra mentioned, I am Joe DeSalvo, and I am a senior loan advisor here at New Silver. And my day to day is all about helping real estate investors like you all on the webinar here to secure funding quickly, efficiently, and with as little friction as possible. And I've had the opportunity to work with all sorts of investors, from first-time flippers to experienced builders growing multi-unit portfolio. And one thing is clear: the investors who scale successfully all have one thing in common, and that's that they've built a system that works. And that starts with having a reliable financing with a smooth and easy process. And whether you're eyeing your first deal or you're scaling up, we're going to show you today exactly how New Silver supports that growth using technology, fast decision making, and a streamlined process built specifically for real estate investors.
Absolutely. We're very excited to walk you through how successful real estate investors are scaling faster using the power of New Silver today. So that's right. Whether you just have a few projects under your belt or you're an institutional investors, we'll show you today how our process and our tools are built to help you close deals faster and with more confidence. All right, so we're going to start with the basics here. Who is New Silver? New Silver is a tech-enabled lender focused solely on real estate investors. We specialize in lending for fix and flip, ground-up construction, and rentals. But we're also not just about lending, right? We're here to make the entire process faster, easier, and more transparent across the board. From that first click that you hit to submit that application to your very final draw, we've built tools to kind of streamline your entire experience from start to finish. We're going to take some time and talk about our loan products here. Now that you've kind of got a feel for who we are, I'm going to go ahead and actually hand this over to Joe, who's the expert here. He's going to kind of walk you through each product and provide some helpful insights.
Awesome. Thanks, Amra. So let's walk through our three loan products we offer. The first being our fix and flip programs. And this is for those looking to purchase a property, add value to the home through rehab, and then either sell or hold the asset. We offer funding that's tailored to short-term investment windows that need to close quickly. Very similarly is our second product, which is for ground-up construction. And whether it's an infill development in a city or town or building from scratch on vacant land, this product is for investors with shovel-ready projects who are ready to start going vertical as soon as tomorrow. And our third product is for our rental program. And that's for those who are looking to build a property portfolio for projects that are in turnkey rentable condition. And these rental loans are great for long-term holdings. And our rent loan programs are for new purchases, rate term refinances, as well as cash out refinances. Our fix and flip and ground up programs are 12-month bridge loans, and these have interest-only monthly payments and no prepayment penalties. Our rental loan programs are typically 30-year fully amortized notes, similar to consumer mortgages. But regardless of which program you choose, the process for these loans is structured to move fast because, as we all know, in real estate, speed matters.
Awesome. All right. So let's move on to how our loan process works here. So I think personally, this is where we really shine. Our process is simple and efficient. So you can actually spend more time on your deals and less time on paperwork. That's the ultimate goal, right? So we're actually going to take some time and walk you through each step of the process here.
Great. Yeah. So our first step, as you can see here, is to start and complete your loan application. So what you'll do is you'll go on to newsilver.com and you'll fill out an application for the specific product you're seeking financing for, fix and flip, ground up, or rent. It's very user friendly, only takes a few minutes to complete. It's very easy. And all you'll need to do is provide your personal information, so your home address, date of birth, etc. the property address and that you're looking to invest in, and then the specifics for the deal you're considering. For our bridge loans for fix and flip and ground up, we'll just need to know the purchase price, expected rehab or construction cost, and the after repair value once the work is completed. For our rental loans, we will need the purchase price, the monthly rental income that you're projecting or that's in place already, and then the estimated tax, insurance, and if there's any sort of HOA fees, if there's a condo or homeowners association for the expenses to the property. Once you've provided us with all this information, then you will instantly receive a term sheet and proof of funds letter, and that's a preliminary term sheet. And with the proof of funds letter, you won't have to wait for anybody to get back to you. You won't have to order the terms as well and go over everything, for a call or email. That's instantaneous once you complete the application. And so there's going to be no delays in understanding, based on the information you provided, what the terms are going to look like. And if you have a deadline to submit an offer to a seller on a property that's very sought after, you can get it to them right away, not having to wait for any sort of lead time for somebody to reach out to you, which is obviously very advantageous in a market like today that's very competitive. Once you've submitted an offer and are under contract on a property, at that point, that's when you'd be put in touch with a loan advisor like myself or another expert on the team, and to discuss the details of the deal. And then once we've done that and had that initial conversation and you've had an accepted offer, you would go to step 3 in our process, which is to order the appraisal. And that's when we'll take the estimated values on your application and we'll confirm that through the appraisal process. And this is completed through a third-party appraiser. And for fix and flip and ground ups, we'll be assessing the as-is value of the property, as well as the after repair value once the rehab or construction is completed. The ARV, or after repair value, will be based on the scope of work provided. And if you're planning on doing an addition on an existing structure, or if you're going ground up, we'll also need the building plans as well for the project. For our rental programs, the appraisal is ordered through a third-party appraisal management company for another layer of quality control, so there's no sort of interference from any of the parties involved in the transaction. And this will be to assess the market value of the home, as well as the market rent for the property, so we can determine the debt service coverage ratio on the home. For newer investors on the webinar who may not be familiar, debt service coverage ratio is the income being generated by the property through a existing lease divided by the expenses. So taxes, insurance, if there's any HOA fees, and the debt service on the proposed loan amount. Back to the appraisals, for turnaround times on our bridge loans for fix and flip and ground up, it's typically about 5 to 7 days to get those back, but it can be expedited if you have a tighter timeline for closing. And for the rental loans, the appraisals are usually completed within 10 to 14 days. But similarly, if you have a tight timeline for closing, we can also expedite that appraisal process. And during this whole time, while the appraisal is in motion, we're simultaneously going to start the next step in our process, which Amra is going to walk you all through here.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. All right. So as Joe mentioned, while that appraisal is in motion, we kind of want to work on some other stuff too as well, right? So when you pay for that appraisal, we order it. You'll actually get a notification through your loan cabinet to upload your documents, the underwriting documents. At this point, we'll also order the title report with the title company as well. We try and keep the documents to a minimum as much as humanly possible. So no need to worry on this part. It should be pretty straightforward. We don't ask for any tax returns or income verification. We just ask for a few key items related to things like your closing entity. So your operating agreement, your articles, your EIN. Obviously, insurance, you'll need to bind the insurance at closing or prior to closing, and liquidity docs, which is typically like 2 months worth of statements, just to make sure that you have the closing costs there. We're not sourcing the deposits or anything crazy like that. We just want to make sure that there's actual funds in the account. Once your documents are in, our underwriting team will review everything, and they will reach out to you personally if they have any questions about documents or require anything additional from you. Honestly, it's a decently easy process that keeps things kind of moving quickly towards that closing date. Step 5, we're going to talk about underwriting. I'm pretty sure this is everybody's favorite. Once your documents are in, our underwriting team gets to work. If everything is in place, we can often clear the file within the very same day. We're very quick on that. The biggest factor here is going to be quick communication. Getting those requested documents to us or answers back to our underwriting team as quick as possible keeps things moving. So if we can get most of the underwriting done while that appraisal is in process, we can close as soon as that appraisal comes in and the values are confirmed. Also, one key note is all of our underwriting is done in-house by our own team. So there's no waiting around for third parties. It's very fast, direct, and it's designed to get you to the closing table with the least amount of delays as possible. With that being said, step 6 is closing quickly. Once underwriting clears your file, we're pretty much ready to close here. We just got to coordinate with title for a date for you to go in to sign those documents. Our goal is to get there as quickly as possible so you can get started on your project. We obviously know time is money, especially in real estate. So we try very hard to move fast to make sure that there's no unnecessary holdups. Everything, again, is coordinated in-house, and we'll keep you in the loop every step of the way to just make sure that the closing process is as smooth and as stress-free as possible. And then we get to step number 7, which I think is a very important step here. You want to make sure that you get your reimbursement back for your rehab draws here. So after your loan closes, you'll be able to order a draw right inside your loan cabinet. When you're ready to order a draw, it's super simple. You log into your loan cabinet, you click a button, you enter the contact information of the person you want the inspector to schedule the walkthrough of the property with. And most importantly, you enter your ACH details as well, because that's where the money's going to go. That's it. From there, we handle the rest so you can stay focused on getting that project done and getting the money into your account. It's fast, easy, and designed to help you keep your project moving without delays. We'll actually talk a bit more about the draw process in detail later on in the presentation as well.
Perfect. Yeah, so another great thing about us at New Silver is, we also, not only do we get you terms and proof of funds letters quickly when submitting an application, but we also have other tools on our platform to make your life easier as well. If you're just looking at properties and don't have something, a certain deal in mind, and you don't feel ready to fill out an application, totally okay. We give you the ability to play around with the numbers and get a better understanding of what our costs may look like. And we do this by having an online calculator. And this is for all of our programs, the rents, fix and flip, ground up. And you can use, all the numbers that we discussed earlier in the program, the purchase price, rehab amount, after repair value, enter these into the calculator, and, within seconds, you'll have a baseline idea of what rates, terms, and leverages would be for that specific project. And which is obviously very important if you're just dipping your toe into the fix and flip space or investment real estate field, and need a little bit more information on that before actually submitting an offer on a property. Another great part about our New Silver is our online portal. And this is something you'll have access to once you've completed the application, and you'll have access to this portal, and you'll be able to track your loan progress. You can upload documents here in a secure portal for underwriting, so you won't need to, be sending emails or text or anything like that. It goes directly into the portal, nice and secure. And even if you don't have a loan advisor assigned just yet, which is or don't have a number just yet, we also have a online chat tool that you can get in touch with a online representative right away, who's not an AI robot. It's an actual representative who will reach out to you in real time and can give you quick answers.
Awesome. All right. So I'll touch base a little bit more about the draw request tool that we have. So I just kind of want to touch base about how draws work here. So all of our draws are done on a reimbursement as installed basis. This means that items must be installed before you can draw against them. So on average, our draw process takes an average of about 3 business days. Obviously, keep in mind that the timing here is going to depend on how quickly the inspector can access the property. Therefore, it is important to be ready and available to go to the property once you actually request a draw. After you hit the request a draw button in your loan cabinet, an inspector will reach out to you within 24 hours to schedule the physical inspection. We also always recommend that you or your GC be there to walk through the property with them. This actually helps ensure nothing is missed during that inspection. The inspector will have a copy of the budget and will mark items as complete based on the actual progress. So as an example, if drywall is 50% complete, they will approve 50% of the drywall line item. So if you budgeted, let's say $10,000 for the drywall, 50% of it is completed, that draw amount is going to be for $5,000 that's going to get deposited into your account. Once that inspection is completed, we usually receive the inspection report within 24 hours. It then goes through our internal QC process before it's released to you for review. You will get an email letting you know that the draw is ready for you in your loan cabinet. You will log in, and from there you can either approve it or you can request a revision right through the portal. Everything's in one spot. If you approve it, funds go into your account via same-day ACH. One caveat I do want to mention is it has to be before the bank's cutoff time, right? So if you approve it after the cutoff, it will be next day, same day. If you ask for a revision, our draw team will review the request and then reach out with any questions. If there are no questions and the revision was automatically approved, we just order an updated inspection report, which typically is received the same day. Once that report is in, you'll get a notification to review and approve. It's actually a very smooth process, again, just designed to keep your project funded and keep things moving forward. All of it, it's central to your loan cabinet, and it's very easy to use. All right, so I think we're going to go over a few common questions that we get here. First one is going to be around the draws. We do get a lot of questions around the draws. I know I just kind of went over the full draw process there in a little bit of detail, but honestly, I think one of the most common questions that we get surrounding draws is about the contingency. So I just wanted to touch base on that for a minute. The contingency, as all of you probably know, or most of you know, is there to cover unexpected costs or anything that goes over our original budget. We can't plan for everything. We all know that. So that contingency is your cushion spot, right? If you need to tap into it, we just ask that you let us know exactly what it's for and include a paid invoice. So for example, if plumbing ran over by $5,000, you just note that in your request, something to the effect of plumbing went over budget by $5,000. Here's a paid invoice. That's it. Simple, straightforward. We'll get a new report updated with the inspection company, and that will be part of your next draw release.
Perfect. Yeah, great. Next common question, and I've seen a couple in the chat as well. What kind of properties do you lend on? And our programs are tailored for non-owner occupied residential investment properties. So if it's going to be a home that you plan to live in, unfortunately, that would not be a fit for our program. These are investment purpose loans. And these, for our fix and flip and ground up construction programs, these are for 1 to 4 unit properties, 1 to 4. For our rental programs, these we can go up to 8 units, 1 to 8 units for those deals. For 1 to 4 units, we can do a single family residential appraisal. For the 5+ unit deals, we would need a commercial appraisal. So something to keep in mind for those as well. Next question would be, what disqualifies a deal? And that can be a few things, and we try to have these conversations with prospective borrowers up front, so we're not wasting anybody's time on these as well. But usually it will come down to, if they're the after repair value on the property has a low return on investment. If it's a bigger project that, you need, it's a full gut rehab and it's a new investor and they've never worked on any sort of fix and flip before, that may be something that we take a pass on. If we're not able to, if someone's been involved with projects before, but they've never been on title at the property, or, we're not able to verify that experience through, the deed or some sort of verification for contracts or permits pulled if it was general contractor. And that lack of documentation makes it a little bit hard for us to move the deal forward. But these are the sort of things that we try to have a conversation about on the front end. So, we're not, a week or maybe a week and a half into the loan process and then, find this out. And then, we waste someone's time and even more importantly, money, or help maybe they lose a deal. But we like to make these sort of decisions on the front end if possible to save everybody's time. Great. So yeah, whether you're just getting started or have a deal ready to go, the next steps on what to do would be to go to newsilver.com and select get funded and start the streamlined loan process today. You'll get to talk to another expert on the team or myself, and we'll be one step closer to starting your real estate journey.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We hope you enjoyed today's session. We hope it helped you understand how New Silver works and better off how to scale faster and smarter using New Silver. So I thank you so much for joining in, and good luck with your next deal. We're actually going to look through the comments and answer some of your questions. So feel free to ask any questions you may have in the chat, and we'll go from there. So it looks like there is a question if there's any experience required for any programs that you guys provide. Joe, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, from an experience standpoint, what we're typically looking for is at least 2 projects completed in the last 3 years for fix and flip and ground up construction. We can consider projects for investors who have at least 1 project completed in the last 3 years. It'll probably be at a reduced leverage opposed to our most aggressive terms, but it's definitely something that we would consider.
Awesome. And looks like Don had a question. Do you require an appraisal contingency when going under contract?
Well, it's not a requirement, but it may be something to have a conversation about with your realtor about, because God forbid that the appraisal did come back a little bit lighter than the purchase price and then what you're expecting. You don't want to be in a situation where you don't have flexibility to get out of that contract. Hopefully that's not the case, and the property you're buying is either below market or at a market value. But it's sort of on the investor themselves to have that discussion with with your realtor. It's not a requirement on our end, but definitely something that you want to make sure you're covered on and not stuck in a deal that may not make sense from a value standpoint.
All right, awesome. And Nick looks like had a question about DSCR loan underwriting. Do you request documents outside of property loan requests? So on a DSCR for the underwriting, we don't need any sort of W-2s or any income or anything like that, if that's where your question is coming from. You will need to be able to show 6 months of reserves at a minimum of whatever that payment amount is, the mortgage amount is. That it does include your escrow. So it includes your principal, your interest, and then your escrow amounts, and any HOA fees or anything like that. But it's going to be solely based off of the property itself as far as the underwriting goes. We do run a soft credit check as well on all of our loan products. I think that's important to mention as well. It's not a hard inquiry. It is a soft credit check as well. So we do take the credit score into consideration when it comes to pricing out the loans and being able to actually do the loans. Mm-hmm. Amir looks like asked if New Silver is able to generate a proof of funds letter. I think you touched base a little bit on that earlier, Joe, if you want to just go ahead and maybe expand a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Amir. So all you would need to do is complete an application for whichever program you're interested in, fix and flip, ground up, or rent. Once you complete the application and authorize the soft credit inquiry that Amra just mentioned, you'll receive a preliminary term sheet as well as proof of funds letter to present to the seller. So yeah, it's automatically generated once the application is complete.
And honestly, you can do that within, sorry, Joe, not to cut you off. It can be done within a matter of like 2-3 minutes, depending on how quickly you type, right? So it's a very quick and easy process. You don't have to talk to a loan advisor to get that proof of funds letter. Our entire goal is to get you under contract and get you to the closing table as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm.
I see another question in here from Daniel about contractor experience trying to build for themselves and what we could use for experience. Yeah, we could definitely take a look at the file. What we would require for verifying experience, Daniel, would be the contracts that you had executed for the work you completed, assuming it was on the behalf of clients, as well as permits pulled for that specific project. Assuming that at least 2 of those projects have been completed in the last 3 years, we definitely could consider the deal, obviously depending on the details of it. But it's definitely something that we could consider, and we do quite frequently. I saw a question from Michael asking if we lend in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We do. We provide for all of our programs, fix and flip, ground up construction, and rental programs. We do offer products in Tulsa, and I do believe it was shared earlier in the chat, guys. If you scroll up, I believe Carmel on my team shared a link to our website with all the locations in the 40 states that we lend in.
Awesome. All right. I think there's one final question that I saw that I think would be a good note to end on is somebody asked what steps need to be taken to get set up here. So you guys are more than welcome to utilize our website on there. You're more than welcome to go on there and submit any deals that you have. We also have plenty of ways to get contacted with us. That's either through chat, as Joe mentioned. You can fill out the application. You can give us a call or through email. We're open and ready to speak with you guys if you have any additional questions. But at this point in time, I think we are all good here. And please feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions.
Thanks for joining, guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it.